Hello, everyone.
Hello. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to, the Black
Multiverse
Multiverse
Theory
Podcast.
Podcast.
Yes. The Black Multiverse Theory Podcast is where hosts Nigel and Nilo explore current events through an Afro-Canadian lens. In Shout Out, we catch up with the community, creating a space for connection. The Scroll dives into our social media current events and celebrity news. As always, actual but not necessarily factual. On the screen, we share our latest watch list, while in our ears explores the sounds shaping our world. The podcast culminates with an uplifting message, hoping we leave you empowered. Tune in for some insightful analysis and vibrant perspectives on the Black experience in today's world. Good night. Good evening.
Good evening. If you don't know, it is 8:15 on the Mountain Standard Time over here in Alberta.
Mm-hmm.
And you are joining in right here with us on the Black Multiverse Theory Podcast.
Okay.
We want to send shout outs to, first and foremost, my Steel Heights teams. Both my U15 and my U13 teams, where both of my children are on. Those teams are doing really well. Both won by 1 point. The U15s won 4-3, and the U13s were 1-0.
Oh, wow.
And
congratulations to them.
Yeah, congratulations. They did a really good job. Like a really, really, really good job.
Yeah, it's good to be in a winning season. So great for everybody.
Really good.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, so shout outs to my children who are on on those two teams. Shout out to the NSU U13 teams where my other son is on. I don't coach that team, but they are doing very well as well. Mm-hmm. And they are provincial finalists and champions. So
amazing.
He wears that shirt all the time. It says provincial finalist on it all the time.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right. I have to give a big happy birthday shout out to our boy Dane.
Dane in the house.
If you don't know Dane, I'm so sorry. You should know him. He's a good one. So, yeah, I love you so much. I know we love you so much. And wanted to give a super huge shout out, happy birthday to him. Shout out and happy birthday to Eric Ringifo. That is my cousin-in-law, my newest cousin. It's funny because we're like Scorpios in the family, so he's fun. He's a fun dude. And super congratulations to my cousin-tin, who is going to be welcoming a new little one into the family. We need some little ones.
Nice.
And yesterday was the 10-year anniversary of my dad's passing. So shout out to everybody in my family and in the community, I guess, who's affected by that. And, I wrote a bunch of like long-winded tributes, and Facebook was like, okay, what else you got? And literally deleted it. So I didn't get out any of the things I wanted to get out, but still, continues to affect my life on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, and I think that's it for me.
Okay. I forgot to say shout out to my niece Cree, who had her birthday last
Cree's
week.
in November one too.
On October the 27th.
Oh, not October. Gotcha.
Not November, October.
Okay. Scorpio still.
Mm-hmm.
October Scorpio.
She is an October Scorpio.
Mm-hmm. Big Darren's on the line.
Yo, so Darren Hall. Darren? Yeah, King.
As always, yeah.
King Hall up in the house.
Kang.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got a couple of things on today. Lots of livestock in the news. I don't know if we should start there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Fiona the sheep gets rescued. Fiona was stuck on a Scottish mountainside for 2 years, eating grass, just being happy. In Great Britain, they called her the Loneliest Sheep, and they launched into project to recover her, and they did. She weighed a whole 208 pounds.
Nice.
They sheared off 20 pounds of wool off of her.
Nice.
And they said she was so fat because she was just eating all the grass in the area. And I guess I just wanted to say, free Fiona.
You know, the thing about Fiona is,
She was living her life.
I understand that she's living her life, but she wasn't getting enough exercise because she was stuck. So,
It's like a tricky hill. Like, it's easy to go down, but then difficult to come up type of a thing. So she was able to go down there, but then it was difficult for her to, like, bring herself out of there.
and that's when you're 200 pounds more than when you went down.
Well,
it's gonna be a little bit harder too.
she had to get to 200 pounds first. That took time.
She went down there eating away, not running around.
Maybe.
And then she looked up and was like, "Oh,
Listen,
shoot!"
that lady was living her life. Let her live. So they took her to like a farm. People are, visiting Fiona. She's quite the spectacle. I expect that she'll be, what is it, mutton by the spring.
She's gonna be eaten. Are you saying they're gonna eat her?
Yeah, mutton. Mutton is sheep.
They're gonna eat. You're saying they're gonna eat her by spring.
Yes, is that not what they do to sheep?
No, not all the time.
They don't eat sheep?
People eat sheep, yes.
Okay.
It's called lamb for most people. and
Baby
mutton.
sheep. Mutton is grown-up sheep. Yeah.
They're called the lamb. And baby sheep are isn't that called veal?
No, veal is when they put the cow in the cage and then they don't let him move at all. And then he doesn't get any. It's like a baby cow, but they restrict their movement so that the muscle doesn't.
No,
it's horrible. It's
horrible.
absolutely horrible. Yeah, it's banned in some countries.
So no, not them. But anyway,
Not that one.
not that one. No. Basically, sheep are used for wool for a good portion. So a lot
Of their life. Okay.
yeah, a little good portion. They live their whole life not getting eaten as mutton, but actually as a provider of my sweater. Like this is a mutton sweater right here.
It turns out I learned that when we domesticated sheep, they stopped being able to like shed naturally. So wild sheep and goats and stuff are able to shed naturally, but domesticated ones, we bred them so that they would like produce all of this wool for us. So
Also terrible.
yeah, horrible.
But
Speaking of, who's not veal? I'm going to call her Bessie. Bessie the cow.
Bessie the cow, who's that?
Bessie made her way and evaded Edmonton Police Service arrest for an afternoon as she walked down the sidewalk, found herself by Royal Alec over there, and she just kept running. I saw them try to hit her. Shout out to YEG Wave. I saw them try to hit her. She just went into the bushes and kept going. I'm like, how does Bessie know that the cars can't go over there? Because she just kept running into the patch. It's like, you can't go here. I'm going.
The thing about this cow is this, for me. First and foremost, I think it's a reincarnated person who wanted to like get back home. So, but if I actually believed in that, but I don't. But if I actually believed that the person could get reincarnated into the cow, it just made sense. This cow
That's
was
what
like,
happened?
Yeah, this cow was like, "Yo, you got me hemmed up," and
He can do that
across.
without having been a person. He can do that as a cow. Or she can do that as a cow.
She
I don't
went,
think she needs to have been a human to be like, I'm getting out of here.
She went, I'm getting out of here, but then evaded police
Evaded
for
police.
hours.
Yeah.
Went on the sidewalk.
They were upset.
Just chilling out.
Yeah.
Looking at people sideways like, you can't catch me. Don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
She did her thing.
She was like, don't touch
I do have to say, I thought she escaped from the U of A, but it turns out that there was like a farm expo at Northlands.
Yes.
So she made her way over from Northlands. That means she traversed a pretty significant portion of
that's
the
a good
city.
That's a good rent. And all she had to do this was escape Northlands and get into the park.
I'm trying to figure out how she got the door to open for her.
The door just opens. It's an automatic door.
It barely opens for me.
The door opened and she found her way to the park because all our parks are like
connected. And then she got, to be honest with you, yeah, she could have made a left instead of a right and gone into the valley, and she would have been there with the wild pigs. I assume the wild boars are still down there because I don't think anyone has killed a single one yet.
Yo, those wild boars would kill her.
I mean, maybe. It's an animal farm down there. Let me tell you.
Wow.
Yes. Okay. And then we also have on the list of things today.
Rats. Ratatouille.
Oh, okay. Rats. Let's talk about that. It was not on the list of things.
Well, we're on.
But let's talk about it. Rats.
Calgary has their first set of rats.
Let me tell you.
Of all places, I'm happy that it's Calgary that has.
I'm going to tell you something.
The Ratatouille.
It'll make you so sad.
What's so sad?
If you see one rat, you have thousands of rats. If you see one with
found
your eyes,
thousands of rats. It's not one.
okay, great. If you think they're not in Edmonton,
They're in Calgary.
they just have to come up in Edmonton.
They're in Calgary.
I guarantee you.
Calgary, better do something about your rat problem.
Just like they do with the unhoused, Calgary's gonna round those rats up and drive them to Edmonton.
Calgary, you better do something about them rats. That's all
They're
I gotta
gonna
say.
drive them to Edmonton is what they're gonna do. I bet you there's rats in Edmonton.
Man, there's Calgarians, I think, that are rats.
Oh, here we go.
That won't come to Edmonton. So
slander.
Keep all the rats over in Calgary. That's cool, right? That's cool with me.
Slander. Also, we're gonna go right back to the UK real quick.
Yeah, let's hear it.
King Charles, the King of England.
King Charles,
which I've never
said
said ever in my life.
King Charles.
King Charles.
All right.
He's
just King Charles, brother.
Yeah, he's making a permanent smoking ban in the UK.
Wow, there you go.
So starting in 2027, the age of smoking, of being able to legally buy cigarettes, is going to increase by 1 year every year.
Until
So people
until you're 80.
Until people who were born January 1st, 2009 will never be able to buy cigarettes. Every year. It will be a new year. But I have to tell you, I remember being in New York when Mayor Bloomberg was like, oh, we're banning smoking in bars. And people were like, this is the end of the industry. There will be no more going to bars. It's going to crash the whole... And it didn't.
It didn't.
And across the planet now, you can't really smoke in bars. Like,
nope.
It's not really a thing anymore.
The thing about the smoking situation here in Canada, the plan is... What they're doing is reducing the amount of actual smokable tobacco.
Okay.
Inside the cigarette. So each year they'll just reduce the amount. So people will be smoking.
Was less cigarettes?
But it's less nicotine and less tobacco inside.
Okay.
So all you're doing is literally just taking in smoke.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what Canada's been trying to do.
I did not know that.
So by the time you reach now 2030, 2035, your cigarette will be like 1% of nicotine or anything in there. It'll be not enough to really
make a difference.
Yeah, you're not gonna feel any different. You're just gonna do it because you think it's cool. Like.
Okay. You think it'll continue to be a social thing. But people, I mean, there's natural nicotine. Tobacco has natural nicotine anyway. And our cells in our body have... Oh, Karma. Hey, Karma. Karma says you can still smoke in bars in Italy.
There you go.
It would be Italy.
That's where we gotta go.
Let me tell you, Italy's not going to let nobody stop them.
That's where we gotta go.
Boy.
That's where we gotta go. They get the cigarette. If you're into that... I personally, I don't really smoke cigarette. I don't smoke. So.
Yeah, like, what do you mean you don't smoke cigarettes? You don't smoke.
I don't smoke. So, good luck, guys.
Good luck, everybody. What else do we have? We have, the last thing that I have here was about, I do have a new island. There's a new island in Japan. Their underwater volcanoes erupted And just off the coast, near Tokyo, I guess, there's a bunch of new Japanese islands. I looked it up, and it turns out that Mount Fuji hasn't erupted since like the 1700s or something.
Yeah, buy one of those islands, it looks like.
1707 is the last time Mount Fuji erupted, but it's still considered an active volcano, which the volcano erupting in the ocean makes me like I need to be concerned, like I'm anywhere near there, and like it's my job. But in any case, I thought I read once that all volcanoes, not all volcanoes, but there's sets of interconnected underground volcanoes. The Caribbean is one. There's one set in the Caribbean, and over there in Japan there's another set as well. So I think that they're talking about the last time Mount Fuji erupted, because these volcanoes erupting, maybe Mount Fuji might erupt too, you know? I don't want to say it too loud.
Well, Mount Fuji's a big staple in the Japanese community, so.
It's a big mountain.
Mm.
And then the last thing we have, there's another last thing. Keith Lee. That's what we were going to talk about.
What happened to Keith Lee?
So Keith Lee went to Atlanta about 2 weeks ago. And when he went to Atlanta, a lot of popular Atlanta dining establishments asked him to come through. One of the things he says is that he doesn't go to restaurants unless you ask him to go. And if you don't know Keith Lee, let me catch you up real quick. He is, I guess, technically a food blogger online.
Yeah.
He is super duper positive. Even when he doesn't like a place, he definitely says it's his own opinion. And he always recommends you also go try the place and formulate your own opinion. He also publicly lets people know not to slander these restaurants or any of that stuff. And overall, just like pretty much a really positive guy. He's like very much in the Tabitha side of the internet, or Kev on Stage. Like, in any case, so he went there to Atlanta, and Atlanta has like kind of like a bougie restaurant scene because there's a lot of names in Atlanta, so they don't take call-ins, most of them, and you have to wait a long time for seating. And then if a celebrity happens to show up, they're gonna allow the celebrity to go before them.
Shout out to Jason Watson.
What's up, Jason Watson? So
Who's in the Atlanta food scene as a sous chef.
Okay. Oh, great. So I have another thing for that. So, so Keith Lee went. When he went, he tries to send his family in or call in for an order, and he wasn't able to get an order. He tried to send his family in. They wouldn't seat them. They wouldn't give them a table. So he went there. When they saw it was him, they were like, oh, no, you can come in. You can come in. And he's like, well, at this point, no, because he's trying to get the service that everybody else gets, because he's trying to tell you what kind of service you're going to get. And clearly you're not going to get the same service as Keith Lee. So he pretty much says no. He goes on, he does his review. He says these are the rules and this is what happened. He says exactly what he says, which is don't go there, don't slander them, don't, you try for yourself or what have you. And this is Candy from Escape, Candy Barres' restaurant, the Real Milk and Honey.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he ended up not getting money, not getting anything to eat at all. And then everybody got jumped on him and was like, he's tearing down restaurants. And Candy and her family went online and was like, I don't know. What did he say? I don't know who he is or something like that. Like, they don't know who he is, which is okay. Like, you don't have to know who Keith Lee is. But if somebody's like, oh, damn, Keith Lee reviewed your restaurant, and you go to TikTok and see he has 14 million followers, you're not going to get online and be like, I don't know who he is. That's weird. Like, in any case, so a lot of people are like happy that he's gathering the scene.
Yeah.
But then a lot of people feel like he's tearing down businesses, which is not accurate. I feel like they actually haven't watched him.
Keith Lee is hilarious. There's a bunch of memes coming up about Keith Lee, about this particular scenario.
Yeah.
So people are like doing voice impressions of Keith Lee and calling into restaurants, especially like Jamaican restaurants as well, and being like, "Can I get more oxtail with my rice and peas?" this is
funny.
Keith Lee. I don't want to be treated any different from anybody else. And they're like, you're definitely going to get 2 ox to your family and all sorts of stuff. It's hilarious to watch. But at the same time, I've watched Keith Lee. Not only is he a stand-up guy, not only is he a person that tells people not to slander
He sure does,
anything, but he's also a person that if you come up with a sandwich, a drink, or something, like the new drink, like I'm going to try probably this week and videotape the Starbucks drink that they do with the caramel, 2 pumps of this and 2.
Okay.
Everybody's like, yo, this I'm going to try it this week.
Okay.
Or maybe next week when I have, more things. But anyways, so
Maybe next week.
So what ends up
see.
So what ends up happening is he will go back and be like, this blogger made this food, this drink, this sandwich, whatever, and make sure that person gets the accolades that they need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he's very popular, and I didn't know this before, but I think it was you who let me know that he used to be MMA fighter.
Yeah, he's an MMA fighter. There's a bunch of MMA videos going around. I'm wearing a Keith Lee hoodie right now. My sister bought it for me. It says "You Matter" on the front.
Wow.
So, yeah, very cool. Now, do you want to go to oxtails and cocaine, or do you want to go to
we started
Atlanta?
Let's go to oxtails and cocaine.
Oh, let me touch on Atlanta, and then we'll go to oxtails and cocaine.
Okay, let's go to Atlanta.
So, if you want to try the real milk and honey and let us know how it is, you can take a trip to Atlanta starting in April with WestJet Airlines direct flight from Edmonton.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
That was interesting. Are they paying us for this? WestJet?
No, they're not. But
Okay.
I'm just thinking about a direct flight from Edmonton to Atlanta. Like,
That's amazing. Number one.
that's what I'm trying to say. It's been
put that
hard
out
to
there.
get to Atlanta. Is Edmonton Atlanta? Edmonton Nashville? Like, there's a bunch of like.
There's a Detroit. There's a Nashville. But I haven't seen Atlanta before.
Yeah, direct Atlanta starting April. So I'm excited about that. It's the Edlanta to Atlanta connection. That means there's going to be a lot of Atlanta people coming up here. Definitely, as a person who's in the hair industry and working with hair and doing hair and wanting to be more involved and planning to be more involved in the American hair industry, a direct flight to Atlanta is definitely on my alley. So I'm glad it's there. Last thing we have here is oxtails and cocaine. Mm-hmm. Starting with the cocaine first. Edmonton Police Service and a casual bust.
Casual pullover. They pulled over.
Casually pulled someone over. And that person happened to have 40.5 kilograms.
40.5
kilograms of cocaine in their vehicle.
This is a street value of $1.8 million.
Yes.
Which is actual value of about $600,000.
I'm like, 40.5. What a strange and very specific number. Like, not 41, not 45, not 50.
Kilos.
Anyway, congratulations to them for doing all that hard work.
500 kilos are basic.
They're like 9.5 kilos are not there. It was 50, but it's a job well done is what I'm trying to say.
Something happened.
No, it's not even allegedly, you guys. We're just joking, please. Listen.
Yeah.
Also, in Houston, Rocket,
Texas.
Yeah, in Houston, Texas. 2 men were pulled over for stealing oxtail.
What do you mean? Of course.
They had packs and packs and packs and packs and packs and packs and packs of oxtail laid out on top of their car while the police arrested them, having the meat all up in the sun, spoiling
it. Listen,
when you how many ox had to die?
Here's the problem. We've gone to so many Jamaican restaurants that if you go on the wrong day, you can't get certain foods at certain times.
Period.
These two gentlemen came up with the solution. They found where the oxtails were being held. They freed the oxtails and were bringing them to the Jamaican restaurants so that for once we can get as much oxtail, as much gravy as we need.
Hashtag free oxtail.
Hashtag free gravy.
So I guess congratulations to those police officers as well. The people who got arrested definitely had on their faces like they already knew the meal that they were about to throw down with those oxtails. Like they're about to feed the whole hood with them oxtails.
Yo.
That is it for on our scroll. Yeah, we're gonna move right on along to in our screen. Is there anything that you're watching?
Whoa.
Did I miss something?
There's a lot I've been watching. Jujutsu Kaisen.
Hey.
Jujutsu Kaisen is a fantastic anime.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching it. I've finally gotten over the fact that they not only... Here's the funniest thing about Jujutsu Kaisen. And I spoke about it last week. Jujutsu Kaisen reminded me of Naruto.
Right.
The team reminded me of Naruto, how they are, how they're structured, even how they move. They move very similar.
Okay.
But here's what, as I kept watching, the team of Jujutsu Kaisen refers to Naruto in its dialogue the entire time, which is hilarious to me.
I don't know what that means, what you said. I'm so sorry.
So they refer to Naruto.
Oh, it's not Naruto. It's a whole different anime, and they refer to Naruto. Are they in the same?
No.
They're not in the same.
No.
Oh.
Different writers, different creators.
Same universe, I guess. The guy was like,
no.
How is it not the same universe?
It's not the same universe. They're built in now. Jujutsu Kaisen's like now.
Okay.
Whereas Naruto's in like Middle Earth kind of deal, right?
Yeah, but
they
that
have
means
carts. They don't have any cars, stuff like that. Like this one has cars and traffic lights and cell phones.
I'm saying in the same universe, like in the Jujutsu Kaisen universe, Naruto happened a long time ago.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know either.
That's
like
they make reference to Naruto's nine-tailed fox.
Okay.
In Jujutsu Kaisen as one of the like spirits that possess other people, which is what happens to Naruto, which is hilarious. And I thought about it after I finished, and they also refer to Bleach as well.
Oh,
yeah,
that's interesting.
Which is very interesting that the characters in that talk about items, not the characters, but the items of the other one, which is really cool. And I was like, oh, okay, so you're doing this thing for people like me.
Yeah, it's very cool.
How about yourself?
I watched a movie, and I need you guys to watch this movie and come back and talk to us about it. Please watch it for me. The movie is called Fair Play. It's on Netflix. It's written by a woman. It's directed by a woman. I'm going to tell you that in the front end. So even though it gets very messy, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of spoilers right now. Even though it gets very, very messy, it is super duper worth it. It had me sitting on the edge of my chair, clinging up my couch. A bunch of times I covered my face in embarrassment. But it is more or less these two big finance people.
Financial analysts.
Yeah, so they're in the finance world, and they're in a relationship with each other. And in the beginning, we think the power balance is one way, and then shortly in the beginning, something happens to disrupt the power balance, and the man is no longer in the place that he expected to be in the relationship, and it ensues in terms of how he reacts to that and the things that he does and what his own insecurity makes him do. So please watch it, because I desperately want to discuss it, and it hasn't hit the psyche yet, of the people. So I'm super looking forward to people talking about it. It is such an interesting movie. It was well done. And I really, really liked it. So check it out. Fair Play.
I forgot to mention, and I'll do this very quickly. Loki. I've been on the Loki tip. Loki.
Okay. On the low key.
High
tip?
key, I've been on Loki.
Okay.
And Loki is actually wild. Like this round is like wild and like it is just interesting to see what they did with Jonathan Major's character. Who's in Loki, very much so. And very interesting to see what they're doing with all the black characters in it. So there's one black character who is considered the villain. There's one black character who's an anti-hero. There's another black character that is considered one of the heroes on there. Mm-hmm. And they've kind of mixed this up with with Owen Wilson and the guy who plays Loki himself. So very good. It's on Disney Plus. Go check that out too. I very, very much want to discuss this too because I watched it, and
I feel like Darren Jordan watched it. I'm sure.
Darren Jordan definitely watched it.
Yeah, you'll have to talk about it with him in 20 minutes.
I want the people
to discuss it. Come back and discuss it.
Yeah.
Okay, low key.
High key.
High key, low key. What are you listening to?
Woy. I got turned towards black country music people. There's a couple black country people that are out here representing for the culture in country music. And I was like, what is happening? And then I listened to it and I'm like, actually, I'm digging this. So there's a guy named Shapuzi and there's another guy named Breland. And both of these people are doing, and another guy named Rashad. Rashad has, instead of 2 A's in Rashad, it's 2 V's. But it's Rashad.
And OG.
What do you say?
Darius Rucker.
Darius Rucker, OG.
He really made space for a lot of people. I'm not gonna lie.
Space. These people right now are talking about, one guy, he said, "Shorty, I want your booty. Mm-hmm. But he's saying with this country twang to it. It's hilarious to listen to. Not just because of the booty stuff, but because of how it is. So
okay.
Yeah.
What about yourself? What did you listen to? Thanks, Darren. You're not a rapper though. So I have been listening to I've turned back on Baby Sabaye, Burna Boy, because Burna Boy concert is happening mañana. Lots of people are going. Burna Boy is going to be. Hey, Courtney. Courtney's up on the comments. So Burna Boy is going to be in the city tomorrow, and I will be there. I want to run through. There's a lot of things happening in November. If I don't get the dates right, guys, please look this up because I could be wrong. You don't need to scroll.
Right.
So we got F-Bay coming up Saturday, November 25th, 2023. The reason why I'm mentioning it first is you got to make sure you go get your tickets. Tickets will sell out. That is the banquet that happens every year. We also have the Old School Party comedy show after party at the Central. That's on Jasper Avenue. It's old school hip hop. That's November 12th, and it's a Sunday. DJ J Mello is a special guest who will be there. The 780. Courtney said, Nigel, check your comments. Courtney, 780 Showcase, Damon Williams featuring Sean Jones and Chastity Washington will be over there at the comic strip. We also have here in Edmonton, I think this weekend, Ryan Davis, who you might know from the internet.
Okay, yeah, I know Ryan Davis.
If you could, is it me? The noise?
Is it you?
The sound.
Is it me?
It sounds like you. Yeah, so Ryan Davis is going to be here this weekend at the comic strip.
Right.
9th, 10th, and 11th. which is this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much like tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep, the night.
And then we also have Roy Woods, who you may know from...
Roy Woods.
How would you know Roy Woods?
Roy Woods has been in a plethora of movies. Roy Woods has not only been in a ton of movies, but he's got picked up very much from being in
Last Week Tonight.
He's been also in Just for Laughs Canada over in Quebec.
Okay.
And yeah.
He's Canadian?
No.
Oh. Well, Roy Woods will be here Wednesday, November.
Roy Wood Jr., by the way.
Roy Woods Jr., my bad, will be here Wednesday, 7:30 show, November 22nd. That's going to be at the River Cree. If you were around next Thursday, I'm going to be celebrating my birthday with a little bit of soup and a little bit of stories at the Speakeasy. That's Thursday, November 16th. There's a December 9th, Kevin Crown Music. If you just look up ETR events, Kevin Crown is going to be here. So that looks like one of the big soca bashes of the season. That's going to be at a place called Double Dragon. I don't actually know where it is. Yeah, that's all I have for right now. There's a couple other things that haven't hit the email yet. So, we're going to be workshopping a play at Aphrodisiac December 5th, I believe it is, or December 4th, actually. So keep that day free. That's a Monday evening, so it should be a cute little turnout. And that's it. That's all I have for upcoming events. I'm not as good at as Raleigh's, but I feel like...
Raleigh's was trying to get back in.
Oh, we have to do that. So I'll get her back in there.
Yeah, and we're gonna be popping with different things too, right?
Okay. Do you have a word this week? I do have a word if you don't.
Go ahead, give it to us.
Okay, my word this week is about acting out of love and really checking our internal insecurities and checking ourselves in the places where we may be triggered, and making sure that if it is a case that is something inside that we need to heal, that we do the work of healing at that inside so that we're not just absolutely reacting to people. At the same time, if somebody is troubling you or troubling your spirit, please protect yourself, protect your spirit, and you don't necessarily have to interact with that person as much as regular. But I really want to focus on doing things out of love and really coming into place, starting with the love for yourself and protecting yourself, your joy and your happiness, and letting that love for yourself radiate outwards. That's what I got.
Fantastic. The love needs to radiate.
Where is the love?
That's it, for sure.
All right, everyone. Is that all you have, Mr. Nigel?
There is. I forgot to share this with my my mother.
Oh, with your mom's.
Apologize, Mom.
Oh, my goodness. Sorry, Masita. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us on the Black Multiverse Theory podcast. It is always great to be with you. We'll be here every Wednesday night at around 8 o'clock or 8-ish. So, 8-ish. And we've got, your local yokel, as we used to say. We got your locals and your foreign news. Thank you so much for checking in with us. You guys have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Next time.